Welcome into One-on-One on Suddenlink Channel 112, live from Studio 318. I'm Reed Spencer, joined by my co-host Logan Mosier. As always, there's a lot going on in the sports world. Bryce Harper got a 13-year, $330 million deal with the Philadelphia Phillies, and the bullpen will be on the second segment to discuss that because they are the baseball guys, so they can talk about that deal in length. But there's a lot going on in the NBA and the NFL as well, and then we'll get to Oklahoma State athletics in the last segment. So we'll start with the NFL. Jason Witten. Monday night viewers are probably going to rejoice.
Yes.
Because he was in the booth for 1 year with ESPN. It did not go well by most people's standards. Now he is returning to the Dallas Cowboys on a 1 year deal worth $3.5 million. He can make as much as $5 million. What do you make of Jason Witten leaving the booth and going back to the field?
I think it works for both parties. I guess all three. Yeah, I think it works for ESPN because they got to get someone else in there. Like you said, he was not up to the standard that people thought. The fans are happy, obviously, that he's out of there. Dallas Cowboys fans are happy that he's back on the field. And I think he's happy to be back on the field. I think he's actually going to be pretty good for the Cowboys. I think he helps Dak just being a reliable guy that's there to catch the ball. You know, if Dak's under pressure or whatever, he knows he can throw a short pass to Jason Witten, and he's at least going to catch it, maybe take it for a couple of yards. I think this is going to be good. I think it's the right move to get out of the booth. We'll have to see if it's the right move to put him back on the field, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, he is fourth all-time in receptions with 1,152. He's got over 12,000 receiving yards, and he's a franchise leader in games played, consecutive games, and consecutive starts.
Yeah.
So he is, and he's leads the receptions for tight ends. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever the time comes, but that's going to have to wait a little bit longer now since he's back on the field. I always find it weird when guys retire and then they come back because we had the retirement press conference. You had Jason Garrett crying, telling stories. Jerry Jones gave him a diamond-covered football.
Yeah, you think he has to give all that back?
I think the deal now is when you officially retire for the last time, you don't get crap.
Yeah.
Because you got it the first time. Now you don't get anything else. Like that, I think that's the way that works out. But it's the Dallas Cowboys. They don't do anything normal. They don't do anything like most people. So there's no telling. Do you think he will play more than just the 1 year?
No. Actually, yeah, I do. I think if he stays healthy and he wants to come back, he'll come back for at least another year. I could see him playing two. I don't think I can see him playing 3 more years. I could see him playing this year and next year. But after that, what does he do? I don't think he can go back to the booth. You think he has some kind of role with the Cowboys or something
Well, there's
else?
been a lot of talk about him getting into coaching.
Okay.
And so maybe he's a tight ends coach somewhere. The University of Tennessee may give him an opportunity for something, but I'm with you. I don't think he can go back to the booth after that 1 year basically tryout.
Oof.
It was not good. It was not good. It was not good. So he's much better fitted on the field. So he is returning to the Cowboys on that 1 year deal. Blake Jarwin, no telling what this means for him and the other Cowboys tight ends because obviously Jason Witten's going to be the number one guy. Right. He did say that he wanted to come back because they have all these young stars and wants to help them win a championship. I laughed.
I agree.
They are far, far away from winning a world championship down in Dallas, at least by my own opinion. But I'm sure people around here probably feel different, a lot of Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're happy to have Jason Witten back. Whenever you have a Hall of Famer return to the game, and he was playing at a high level when he left.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sad to see him leave the booth, and I'm not sad to see him back on the football field. Now, I'll ask you this. Is there anyone on Monday Night Football, because there's been some talks that they're just going to go back to a two-man crew and put Booger McFarland in the booth with Joe Tessitore. That one's bad.
Yeah.
Like ESPN, I hope they don't do that, but they also tried this out. They went with this, so there's no telling what they'll do. Is there anyone that you want to see be in that Monday night booth at the start of next season?
I heard David back there say Pat McAfee. I think that'd be. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that would last very long, but I think that would be very entertaining. Greg Olson's a name I saw come up this morning when I was reading about this. They're trying to. If Greg Olson does retire, ESPN might try and get him in the booth. I don't know if that'll work any better than with Jason Witten. Getting another old white tight end in the booth. That didn't work out last time. But I do not like the idea of Booger McFarland getting back in the booth, though. That would.
He needs to go back to college football.
Yeah.
I will say Greg Olson. Now, Jason Witten's obviously very intelligent. He just didn't
translate
in the best way. Greg Olson's done some TV. He communicates well. I wouldn't mind seeing Greg Olson. There's a couple names. One that would be easier to get. Obviously, the top one's Peyton Manning. He's been offered TV deals before. I don't think Peyton Manning's going to do it for any amount of money. I think that Peyton Manning does commercials, and I think eventually he wants to get into player operations.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to be in the booth. But if he did, he will be phenomenal at it because he's intelligent and he's funny and he knows the game. Kurt Warner's another one who calls some games for NFL Network, another Hall of Fame quarterback. But Sports Illustrated did an article on the 8 replacements. Or they did 5. I read another one that was 8. And the 8th choice on the last article I read was, please God, anyone but Booger McFarland was the 8th choice. But the 5th choice on Sports Illustrated was Tim Tebow.
Oh, no.
Which is never going to happen because he's playing baseball. And I don't think ESPN would do that.
Yeah.
But there's some Nate Burleson talk out there. But you would think they would try and move away from Booger McFarland. But they were also, Logan, going with this team again for a second season. They were going to stick with him before Jason Witten jumped back to the football side of things. So there's no telling what ESPN will do.
You're right. They got to get it right, though, because, I mean, the games for Monday Night Football this year were awesome. That Chiefs-Rams game that was going to be in Mexico City but then ended up being played in L.A., that was awesome. There were some other good ones I can't remember off the top of my head. But you got to get the crew right for that.
Yeah,
and I like the idea of what was the guy you said that calls games? Kurt Warner. Sorry. Yeah. I think Kurt Warner would be good. Maybe it's not a good idea to go get some of these guys that are straight off the field and try and throw them in the booth. Maybe get some of these guys that have some reps calling games, and maybe that, and they'll find success with that. But oh my gosh, if they get Booger McFarland in the booth, I probably will not watch Monday Night Football, no matter how good the game is.
Well, Logan, I think you and I are fantastic on this show. But it is difficult to step in front of a camera in front of 15 million people and call a football game.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. Listen, Tony Romo is great. He predicts the plays. He was not great at first, but he's getting there. His problem is on a random game in week 3 at 3 o'clock on Sunday, he's losing his mind, and everyone's half asleep, and they don't care about the Texans versus Colts. Everyone cares about Monday Night Football. You have to be able to match that intensity, like Tony Romo did in the AFC Championship game in those playoffs. You match that intensity for the viewers. You need that on Monday Night Football because everyone looks forward to Monday Night Football. There's that excitement there. So it will be interesting. I imagine it'll probably take a couple months for them to name their replacement. I hope they do their due diligence, and I'm with you.
And hopefully it's not Booger McFarland.
Not Booger McFarland. But Kyler Murray at the Combine. The Combine started on Tuesday, is running through next week. The physical stuff starts today.
Yep.
He measured 5'10" and 1/8 at the Combine. Surprised you that he's that tall?
Thank goodness, Reed, that he is 5'10" and 1/8. Because, no one could have drafted him if he was 5'9" and 7/8. Those 2/8 of an inch mattered, Reed.
It would have been difficult. He will still be the shortest starting quarterback in the National Football League.
Right.
Your guy, John Elway, seems to think it's a bit of a problem, though, because
what does he know?
Because he's tall. He won some Super Bowls, but talent evaluation, you're right, is not his strong suit. But Drew Brees is 6 foot and 1/4, measured 213 at the Combine. Russell Wilson at the 2012 Combine was 5'10" and 5/8 and 204 pounds. Kyler Murray weighed 207 pounds. He was chugging water on the way to the weigh-in. But I'm with you. I didn't expect him to be 5'10".
Yeah.
But it really doesn't this. I mean, it's literally.
Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
What difference does it make?
That is not going to help him see over anyone.
No. He could put lifts in his cleats.
He could.
There's always
there are options.
There's always options to make 4-inch spikes for his cleats. I'm sure that would help him run. But it was a shock that he measured in, and I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I was on the same boat.
I mean, and he had one of the smallest hands, I think. That was an issue with Mason Rudolph, was the size of the hands. But Kyler Murray, I still think even these measurements, which seem to be going in his favor, people are really happy about it. I think he's going to be a top 10 pick.
I think so. I think it's kind of like what happened with Baker Mayfield last year. At first he wasn't going to be a first-round pick, and then he crept up to the #1 overall pick. I could see something similar happening with Kyler Murray here. I could see him being a top 5 or 10 pick, like you said.
Yeah, people are desperate. The Jets are reportedly trying to shop that number 3 pick. I don't know how our friend Jason Colicchio is about to come up on the bullpen feels about that because, I mean,
they still need some help.
They need some help, but they've got their quarterback. I think Sam Darnold's the answer. At least he is for now. But I don't know what they could get for him because I don't know that there's anybody that's desperate enough to give them a ridiculous offer. An RG3 Rams Washington one. Yeah, Jacksonville, but they're probably going to go get Nick Foles.
That's true.
So I don't know. We will see, though. The draft's coming up, but we'll see. Monday we'll be able to know the numbers from the 40 times. Kyler Murray's not going to throw.
No, I don't think he's doing anything.
No, just getting weighed in. But he is going to throw at the Oklahoma Pro Day.
Right.
And it's going to run a 40 there. So we will get the numbers there. Obviously, Justice Hill and Jordan Brailford are at the Combine. Hopefully, they're going through interviews. Yeah. They're going to get physically tested today and throughout the weekend. So we'll see where it goes from there. But obviously, Justice Hill, I think it's going to be hard for him to get drafted. If he does, it'll be in the 6th or 7th. Jordan Brailford, I think, could go in the 4th or 5th. But we will see on draft
Hopefully
day.
We see them both drafted.
We're going to do a 7-round, 200 and whatever
mock draft. I like it.
Live on one-on-one. Anyways, we're staying in the NFL. Robert Kraft, which talked about on Wednesday, what his suspension should be from the NFL, where they should go. We seem to think that, as I remember, you thought, the maximum punishment the NFL can hand out would be the right thing. He pleaded not guilty.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. Full discretion. I haven't even graduated here yet, but I'm not going to law school after I leave. He pleaded not guilty, and it's going to come down to a judge. He doesn't want a jury trial, at least from what I've read and what I understand. But the police also claim to have video.
Right.
I don't know why they would claim to have video if they didn't have video.
Yeah.
They also said they're planning on releasing the video.
Oof.
Now, the people, the suspects in this case, are all very rich, are all very powerful, and their attorneys are saying, you can't release that because they didn't know they were being filmed. I still maintain that TMZ or some tabloid is going to find this video.
Yeah.
They're going to get their hands on it. Whether the cops release it or not, somebody's going to get their hands on this. And if he's on video, pleading not guilty does not work out well in his favor.
Right. Yeah. I read he pleaded not guilty, not as I'm innocent, but it's a way that they can work into a different kind of deal or something like that. Yeah, it's some kind of plea deal, so that way he can not have to appear in court and just face a fine. So maybe that's the route they're going with. But yeah, like you said, if the police have the video and they plan on releasing the video, there's no point in saying that you're pleading not guilty, unless it's to get a plea deal.
He, in quote from his lawyer, categorically denied that Mr. Kraft engaged
I'm not going to lie. I would do that too.
Illegal activity.
I would do that too, especially if they said they had video.
Oh, man. Listen, I don't want to see the video.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone really wants to see the video, but it's going to get out, and it will be, that is going to hurt him more than just the incident itself. Yeah. So he does plead not guilty. I don't know. Obviously, Adam Schefter reported there was a bigger name, and maybe in the world and the financial world there is, but in the sports world, I don't think there's a bigger name than Robert Kraft.
Jerry Jones maybe. That's the only other one.
Well, they got caught.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know who else who it could have been. You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
He does. His court date, I believe, is April 25th, or is in mid to late April. Anyways, and then he's not going to go, but he can turn himself in. His misdemeanors and his warrant is basically that of a traffic ticket.
Right.
So that's the severity of that. But we will follow along with Robert Kraft and everything going on in the NFL. It's about time to make a call to the bullpen. Jason and Barrett are going to come up and talk about a very, very wealthy Bryce Harper. We're going to take a quick break. They'll be up right after this.
Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit facebook.com/TinkerFCU. While you're there for your family, we're there for you. Tinker Federal Credit Union. And OSU Communications. Not sure where to park? OSU Communications has got you covered with parking tips and bus schedule information. We'll be right back.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
Cast prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Christian University. Get your master's degree in accounting.
Joined by my co-host Barrett Guess here on One-on-One. Looks like the starting pitcher's getting a little shellacked out there, Barrett. So they're making a call to the bullpen early this week.
Yeah, excited.
Excited. Bryce Harper. Oh boy.
Huge contract.
Absolutely. So it looks like Scott Boras, once again, the Boras effect. He took charge, got Harper his money. He also got him his years, though, Barrett.
Oh yeah, 13 years. He's going to be 39 by the end of that contract.
2031. That seems like a long time away.
Yeah, that's 13 years, 39 years old.
No opt-outs.
No
trade clause.
There is a no trade clause?
No trade clause.
Oh,
they
man.
are.
I mean, I know he
balls,
wants to
they
be,
are in.
He definitely wanted, like he obviously was kept on saying he wanted a long-term contract. But I guess I wasn't thinking that long-term, but I guess he wanted, wherever he was going to sign, he wanted to stay there forever. He wants to retire wherever he was going to sign with. So that kind of makes sense why he didn't accept that four-year $180 million contract with the Dodgers, because I guess he doesn't want to hit free agency again. So, I mean, he's not the highest paid, per year, because that still belongs to.
Right now,
that's Arenado, right?
Arenado.
After his contract, but he does make the most overall. So, interesting, but I guess he'll be a Philly for life. So
I'm gonna hit you with this contract. All
Okay.
right, I'm gonna throw some numbers at you.
Perfect.
First year is only $11 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little. That's weird.
Yeah,
I guess I could say.
Yeah.
But then we got the next 9 years is where the chunk comes in. That's $27.5 million.
I think that's a good number. I don't necessarily think
it definitely evens out to 13 years.
Yeah, it does, and I don't think he is necessarily worth $30 million per year.
You got close.
He did get close. Machado, I don't think is really worth $30 million a year either, but
yeah, well, that's for another day, I guess.
Yeah. So maybe the Phillies, the idea behind this contract was, the Phillies didn't think he was worth $30 million per year. So their thought process was get him for less than $30 million a year, and then
and keep him.
And keep him. And I think Harper wanted to stay for a while. He wanted to retire as a Philly. And then Boras was probably thinking, if I'm not going to get $30 million per year, I'm just going to try to get most possible money overall I can for Harper, and so that's what he did. So he does have the largest contract in North American sports, which is pretty spectacular. For now.
We'll see. Someone will break it.
Yeah.
Trout will break it in 2 years.
Trout will smash it in 2 years.
And then 36 and 37 and 38 years old, he'll be getting $23.5 million his final 3 years as a Philadelphia Philly. It's a while away. Now, the Phillies odds, I want to talk about their World Series odds. They went from plus 1,800 to plus 1,300. They are still behind the Yankees.
That makes sense.
At plus 600. Red Sox, Astros, Dodgers, Indians, and the Chicago Cubs at 1,200.
Okay.
Do you think they have do you think the odds are a little skewed? Do you think that maybe they have a better shot at the World Series than Vegas? This is from Vegas. Than Vegas is saying?
No. I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't think they're. I mean, obviously they got so much better. They had an all right season, 80 and 82 last season, and they just got better, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're necessarily even. Like I don't think, based on those odds, it seems like a lot of people are saying they're going to win the NL East. I wouldn't even consider them like a shoe-in for the NL East. I think.
Your Nats, right?
With the Nationals and the Braves still in there, I think that's and the Mets. Some people are saying the Mets are going to be good.
That's interesting.
I don't see it, but you never know. So I think it's a pretty tough division. I don't necessarily think they'll win the NL East. I think they might get a wild card, but I think their teams. I think the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Astros are all much better. But obviously, they're in the AL. In the NL, I think.
In the NL, the Dodgers are the only one ahead of them.
And the Cubs.
To win the pennant. And the Cubs, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think they might be better than the Cubs. Dodgers, I think Dodgers are still really
top
good.
Top of the NL.
They're still top of the NL. I don't think, I don't think they're there yet. Give them a year or two, then it might be a little different. But right now, I wouldn't even lock them in as a playoff spot right now.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that take. Hot takes here on the bullpen. So going back to the contract a little bit, I like to think that since I think Harper, at the end of the day, he started to realize that he wasn't going to get the amount of money that he wanted. But at the same time, he's looking around at the league right now, and he's seeing all these people, all these free agents unsigned. And he's saying to himself, what else do I want more than the money? I want a job.
Yeah.
That's what I think he was saying to himself at the end, because, we're already a week into spring training here. And he needs this contract to be signed before regular season. The regular season's this month. Shout out to the regular season.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And, very excited. So he went for the long route. He said, you know what, I want to have a job. I don't want no opt-out, no trade. I want to have something until I'm almost 40. I want to make sure, because I think he proposed to his girlfriend recently.
Yeah.
He's going to have a family. He wants money. He wants to take care of his family.
Yeah.
So I guess he found that Philadelphia was the place. I guess he doesn't want to move either. 13 years.
I mean, more power to him. He obviously wants. He was really committed to staying with one team. He wants to stay in the same city. I guess he doesn't want to move. So, I mean, that's good for him. He knows what he wants, and that's what he got. So, I mean, it's hard to blame him. But obviously, it is a in-division rival. So, as a Nationals,
little salty,
a little
salt
bit,
here
but
in the bullpen today.
I don't think the Nationals necessarily really need him. They have a lot of depth in their outfield. So, yeah, I mean,
are you gonna boo him? They play April 2nd and April 3rd.
Yeah, I think
the second series of the year.
Someone told me that when Jacoby Ellsbury went from Boston to
New York.
The Yankees, he got cheered a lot the first time he came to Boston, and then every time after that, they booed him. Just like every time after that. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, at least Ellsbury helped them in the playoffs.
Well, yes.
So I don't think there's going to be much love for Harper.
Harper really was, your franchise for a little bit, but they didn't do much in the playoffs.
Juan Soto now.
It's Juan Soto, 19-year-old Juan Soto.
Yeah.
He's I wouldn't be surprised if there's some booing going on at National Stadium?
I think there will be. I think it'll be kind of split 50-50.
50-50?
There's gonna be some like tribute,
little hype video.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But they got to play the Phillies 18 times this year, so
so it should be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
That's good.
I can't wait to see his numbers against the Nationals at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that'll be fun to look at.
So. All right. So yeah, I was talking earlier about money per year, and that's usually what Scott Boras and the Scott Boras effect I talked about on Monday. He's now being paid less per year than teammate Jake Arrieta. That's I mean, he's fallen off a little bit after the Cubs, but that's okay. He's still a good pitcher. He's their one now.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're two behind Nola.
I would
maybe
two.
And he's also getting paid less than Arenado now, his new extension, Machado, and Albert Pujols. I love Albert Pujols. Don't get me wrong. He's a Hall of Famer.
He is. He's
going to be a Hall of Famer when he retires.
Much fun to watch.
But he's getting paid, Barrett, $28 million, $29 million, and $30 million in the next 3 years, and that's when his contract ends. And he's going to be 41 years of age.
Yeah, that's
that's baffling.
That is
to me.
A bad contract, and
Pujols can't run to first base anymore.
Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they figure something out so they can get Trout back, but I don't know if they're going to get Trout back.
Talking about Trout, I've heard that you have some strong opinions on Trout.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it quick because we don't have much time, but the Angels have just taken him, and I mean he's still producing at an unreal level. Best player in the MLB. I
think we can agree that he is the best player in the MLB right now.
If anyone says differently, that's
talk to us.
Talk to the bullpen. But they've just wasted it. I mean, has he made the playoffs?
He's made the playoffs twice.
Twice, yeah. So, but they haven't done anything in the playoffs.
They haven't gotten far now.
There's just nothing built around him, and it feels like this far into his career because he's been in the league.
He's the same age as Harper.
For 5 years now. Like you feel like there should be something around him. I mean, they have Ohtani, and that was exciting, but. There's just not much built around him, and it's kind of sad because he's such an incredible player, and you hate to see his talent being wasted right now. So I hope if the Angels don't become a legit contender the next 2 years, I hope he goes somewhere where we can see him play in October and really see what he's made of.
See, the thing about Trout is, so he's got 2 years left. He can't do anything until those 2 years are over. He becomes an unrestricted free agent. By then, there's a lot of outfielders that are due their money. Like we're talking about Mookie Betts. We're talking about even in New York with Aaron Judge. By then, they're gonna be in an arbitration period, and they're gonna be asking for some serious cash. So there's gonna be some weird teams going after Trout. Like we mentioned earlier, the White Sox.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mentioned the Marlins. Miami's a nice place and all, even though Jeter kind of, dismantled the whole organization.
I mean, if you looked at the Marlins, like, if they had just kept who they had, they might be decent. Like Giancarlo Stanton.
Well, they obviously didn't want Stanton anymore for some reason.
Yeah. And then Christian Yelich and D. Gordon.
They all went off to be good.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
And then obviously, it's obviously terrible what happened, but Jose Fernandez.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that was. I mean, they had a very bright future, I think, and now they're hitting the reset button once again. So,
all right, well,
it sucks for any Marlins fans, but
good luck to the Marlins this year. Well, it looks like the bases are loaded out there. Skipper's walking out to the mound. Looks like there's going to be a loss today. Thanks for watching on the bullpen here on One on One. We'll see you on our regular scheduled programming on Monday. Thanks for watching.
One on One is brought to you by Oklahoma Christian University. Get your master's degree in accounting, business administration, theology, engineering, computer science, or cybersecurity from Oklahoma Christian University. Apply at oc.edu/grad. Oklahoma University is committed to offering the best graduate school experience we possibly can. Come learn and grow with us. And The Table. Stop by The Table on Thursdays at 8 p.m. to join their Bible study. Shoot Rachel an email at rachel@thetableosu.com for more information. We'll be right back.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Welcome back into one-on-one. Sometimes the skipper realizes he made a mistake, and the way you started the game is how you have to finish it. So the starters are back out the way it should be. We'll try and finish this off the win. We lost the lead, but we know we can get back into it. Starting in the NBA. By the way, I know that baseball was their segment, but 13 years, $330 million. It seems like it's going to be a bad deal really quickly.
It could be a bad deal in 3 years. 3 to 4 years, I think.
Most marriages in America do not last 13 years. There is no divorce clause in this contract. They are stuck.
Yeah.
No trade, no opt-outs. They're stuck for 13 years. The bullpen did a great job breaking that down. So now we'll go to the NBA. Dwyane Wade turned back the clock down in South Beach.
He did.
One step, just heaved.
I don't even know what to call it. Yeah.
To beat the Warriors at the buzzer, 126, 125. They were down a ton. I think that was a carry I just saw right there, but I won't be too critical. I mean, Dwyane Wade, he's not going to be able to do this for 82 games. Obviously, we're in the final 20 games. They may make the playoffs, but he had a move last night against Houston that was phenomenal as well. So he's playing well right now. Yeah. Obviously, he can't do it for 82 games, but he tied Kobe Bryant with 5 buzzer beaters since 03-04. I mean, obviously, those are buzzer beaters to win the game, which is kind of hard to come by, but that was incredible for Dwyane Wade, especially to beat the Warriors that way.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, he could play more. He could play longer than just this year, but I think he's more self-aware than other guys, and he knows he's on the way out. Why not go out while I'm still somewhat productive? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's not going to do what Allen Iverson did and stick around till he's a shell of himself. He's not doing what Melo's doing. It's great when a guy goes out this way, but you still want more. You know what I mean? You want more. I mean, we grew up watching this guy. Like you said, he tied Kobe Bryant for most buzzer beaters since 03-04. Multiple-time champion, multiple-time All-Star. I think he's the 3rd best shooting guard of all time. You might disagree with that, but it's sad when you see a legend leaving. We got at least two leaving this year. Vince Carter may be secretly leaving. Dirk may not actually be leaving. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Dwyane Wade has been able to he's just been able to put on a great season, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
it's fun to watch.
He's had those highlights. I'm with you. Once you kind of get the taste of those buzzer beaters and see him play, you wish he could do that like he did
forever
for a full season. But it is definitely time for Dwyane Wade to go because his knees are going to give out on him.
Oh yeah.
Before too long. But yeah, Dwyane Wade turning back the clock did not really work out well for him last night. James Harden drops 58 points in a 121-118 win over the Heat. So the celebration was short-lived.
Right.
James Harden moves to that's his 6th 50-point game performance of the season. That's
crazy.
His 15th of his career. He's only behind Wilt, Kobe, and Michael Jordan now in 50-point games.
This guy's a scorer.
Yeah, he was 3 off a 61 performance in New York just a couple weeks ago.
And, his streak just came to an end, but, picked it right back up, Reed. He's going to maybe start a new one. This guy is – people can complain about the way he gets his points all that they want. Like, a lot of it comes from the free throw line, a lot of it's drawing fouls or shooting threes, but he's unstoppable. I'm sure all the teams that guard him hate it the way he does it, but they can't stop it.
Right.
This guy is – out of this world, He's one of those. I feel like he's one of the guys that gets a lot of hate now, but when it's all said and done and he's gone, people will be like, "Man, you remember what James Harden used to do back in my day, son? James Harden used to score 50 in his sleep. He used to be able to get to the foul line whenever he wanted."
Well, the way the NBA is going, by the time you're talking to your son,
he
Logan,
could still
there are
be
just
playing.
no defenders. I mean, they're just going to be scoring. People are going to be scoring 80 a night. It'll be nothing. Still won't break Kobe's, max at 80, but. Yeah, James Harden was incredible. But we talked about, seeing these legends go. And we talked about on Wednesday, Doc Rivers stops the game to celebrate Dirk Nowitzki and his final year. Or is it? Dirk says he won't rule out one more year. He's 40 years old, 22nd year with the Mavs. That's the longest tenure with a single team in NBA history.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
It
is time to go. And I think ultimately it is. But he's starting to feel better, and he just won't rule it out until the summer.
That's great that he feels better, but please don't play another year, Dirk. It hurts to watch him run up and down the court. It looks like his knees hate him.
Yeah, they're swollen.
They don't move so well. He doesn't move so well. It's just it's time to go. Like, I understand if he wants some role in a basketball deal. Like, if he wants to be part of the Mavs, that's fine. You can go to practice. You can go to practice and play with these guys. I'm sure Mark Cuban will let you in whenever you want, and you can go practice. But please, do not play another year. Because we were just talking about how great it is to see Dwyane Wade, and how we wish it was forever, but he's leaving before it gets ugly. It's ugly for Dirk right now. This is a year we will not remember for Dirk because of just how he's not Dirk anymore. So I hope he thinks about it and decides, you know what? I don't want to play anymore. I want to be done. I want to retire. They'll love me in Dallas forever. I'll be a legend forever. Just, it's over.
I think that even though he's saying he won't rule out one more year, I think this is it. I think the way he's gone about this is always pushing the narrative that it may be one more year, because although Doc Rivers, that moment was incredible and Dirk certainly appreciated that, I don't think Dirk wants many of those moments.
Yeah, he's not that kind of guy.
I mean, I think that's why he says this stuff, because he doesn't want any more of the celebrations. Dwyane Wade's the exact opposite. Kobe Bryant was the exact opposite. And I know for a fact LeBron James will be the worst farewell tour we've ever seen. He will surpass Jeter's obnoxious tour of 162 games.
That's hard to do in like half the games.
Oh my gosh, it's like getting surfboards and it's just, I mean, that's what LeBron James is going to be. But you and I think, can agree that LeBron James is going to be petty wars times 10.
Yeah.
LeBron James, the king of petty, his farewell tour will be something else. But I think Dirk's done. He's just easing his way out.
I could see that. And I mean, he probably knows he's done. But like you said, he's probably just trying to make it to where he doesn't get all this attention for the rest of the season. Only 20 games left. So him and Dwyane Wade might be playing their last game in just a few weeks. We'll have to see what both of those are like for those. Those are always interesting, you know what I mean? The last game. Kobe Bryant's was obviously the one that stands out as probably one of the best last games of anyone's career, even though it meant absolutely nothing. So that'll be an emotional night for a lot of fans, for both teams, I'm sure. Too bad it's not the same night. How great would it have been if it was Miami-Dallas to end the season? That would probably be one of the most watched games of the whole year.
Dallas, their second to last game, they play their last game on the road. I don't think Dirk's probably going to play that last
Probably
game.
not.
Hopefully the American Airlines Arena sends him out the right way.
Oh, they will.
But Dirk and Dwyane Wade, although we've seen Dwyane Wade do it, Dirk scored over double digits 3 straight games. But I feel like they could rest up and have a phenomenal performance on that last game of their career.
I think so too. And man, it makes me sad, man. You know, these are guys I grew up watching, but they're going to be gone. So it's emotional.
Who will be for you more difficult to see go, Dwyane Wade or Dirk?
That's a good question. Probably Dirk, just because I was closer to Dallas, and I don't think there was ever a time where people didn't like Dirk. There was obviously that stretch where Dwyane Wade was part of those Miami Heat teams that no one really liked. They were the villains of the NBA, and Dirk beat that team. Yeah. So I think it'd be harder to see Dirk. I'm gonna go with Dirk.
Well, yeah, we'll certainly be watching those when those final games come up.
Mm-hmm.
But now KD, they lose to Dwyane Wade on that buzzer beater.
Yes.
And it maybe South Beach was a little too crazy, but they go up to Orlando, and he's missing his first game. Is there anything to make of him resting, especially this close to after the All-Star break?
No, I think it's just because we're so close to the playoffs. We've seen this from Steve Kerr and the Warriors for a long time, and the Spurs for that matter, and a lot of good teams. They rest their guys after the All-Star break. They manage their minutes because they're getting ready for the playoffs. Their goal is a championship. And I think they're going to accomplish that goal, but they're going to take every precautionary measure they can to get these guys rested up for the playoffs. We'll see Steph Curry sit out. We'll see Kevin Durant. We'll see Draymond, Clay. We'll see them all probably sit out at one point, like all at the same time at one point. And they'll all be spread out throughout the rest of the season. So I don't make a big deal out of that.
Yeah, I don't make too much of it either. Lonzo Ball, the talk of one-on-one has been the Lakers, and that's just when you have LeBron James, I mean, their storyline after storyline. But Lonzo Ball's missed 15 straight games, goes down in January, and they have struggled without him. I don't think Lonzo Ball's a transformative player. I don't think he's ever going to be like that all-star caliber consistent, but he's a really good player, and they've been worse on defense since he's been gone. He's out one more week. What will it mean for the Lakers to get Lonzo Ball back?
I think it'll mean a lot. They need something, and maybe he's the guy that can help spark that, They have...
It's going to have to be a very big spark.
I agree. And they've got a tough stretch coming up, but I think he's the kind of guy that can maybe energize the younger guys like Ingram and Kuzma because they've been through several years playing together at this point, so they have more chemistry with him than LeBron and Rondo. So maybe he can bring some energy, and I think he can help them defensively quite a bit. They really, really need some help defensively, and I think Lonzo can do that.
Well, Kobe Bryant was asked, Zion Williamson, blew out his shoe.
Yes.
Hurt his knees, missed the last few games for Duke, and DeMarcus Cousins was very vocal on that. Donovan Mitchell, everyone pretty much thought he should just sit out. I think he should just sit out. Don't risk it.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, was asked about it, and he said if he's healthy, he should play because he made a commitment to the university. Do you agree with that?
Kinda. I think he should play if he wants to. If I were him, I would sit out. But at the same time, he's known these guys since high school. They're friends. How often are him, R.J. Barrett, and Cam Reddish going to play together again, you think? Some all-star games maybe?
Yeah.
A rising star game next year? If he really is good friends with these guys and he wants to go out there, and they have a real shot at winning a national championship. And if Zion Williamson wins a national championship, he will make so much extra money just off endorsements and stuff, and he will be a legend at Duke forever. He might be a bigger legend than Christian Laettner if he can go and win a championship for Duke. If he wants to, I certainly have no problem with it. If I were him, I would probably go back and play.
Well, you're looking at it, and Carmelo Anthony's only championship in his life
is
outside of the Olympics, but came at Syracuse. Then he obviously went to the Nuggets, then played for the Knicks. Did not have much success as far as winning titles.
Right.
Win titles when you can win them. He has a shot. And if you go play for the New York Knicks,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
James Dolan is your owner.
Right.
So good luck. So it's certainly going to be difficult. I'm with you and with Kobe. I get it. He should play, but I also understand both sides.
Yeah,
I understand
and it's totally up to him. I have no problem with whatever he chooses.
It's got to be his decision. So the Cowboys last 2 nights ago, I guess, almost beat the number 11 team in the country down in Lubbock. lost in
That was a
overtime,
shock.
84-80. We're going to come back and talk about that game right after this.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Air National Guard. Contact Oklahoma Air National Guard at 800-GO-TO-ANG or visit their website at goang.com/OK for more information about how to get 100% college tuition. And Unitarian Universalist Church. If you're looking for a church home, visit Unitarian Universalist Church of Stillwater, located at 320 South Stallard Street. They offer an alternative spiritual path and welcome all races, religions, and beliefs. They are also LGBTQ friendly. Services every Sunday at 10:30. We'll be right back.
Stillwater Medical Center now offers a convenient way to view your health information online. It's secure, easy, and free. Our hospital and clinic patient portals allow you to view results and reports, medications and allergies, track visit histories, view upcoming appointment information, and see your statements. To enroll, go to stillwatermedical.com and click on the patient portal link near the top right of the page. If you have questions, please feel free to call 405-533-6010.
Welcome back to One-on-One. A couple nights ago, the Oklahoma State Cowboys go down and take on the number 11 team in the country, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. We thought it was going to be ugly.
Yes.
They were down 10 at halftime. They fight all the way back, lose a nail-biter in overtime, 84-80. Lindy Waters had a phenomenal game, phenomenal last couple minutes, 12 points. They tied a school record, 17 threes. Lindy had 7 of those threes and 26 points. Thomas Zongwa followed it up with 20. I'm not here to claim moral victories, but you have to be a little proud if you're Mike Boynton and the Cowboys, how they played, especially the way they were beaten by Texas Tech just a few weeks ago in Galvin-Iba.
Absolutely, and I mean, like you said, not here to be patting people on the back for, you know, keeping it close, but...
Right. Yeah, I was saying, when you're having a season like this, you just kind of have to...
And I think if you're a Mike Boynton critic, you have to look at this season, what he's done with this team, especially in games like this. Like, he is such a great motivator and leader, and he's a good coach. I think this program is in great hands going forward. Like you said, great performance last night. I mean, Cameron Griff's 2 for 11, only 8 points. You have to imagine if he has a game that we're used to him seeing, Cowboys might have actually pulled off an upset in Lubbock. So, you know, like you said, can't be looking at that and thinking, man, you know, almost did it. You should get some kind of reward for that. But I mean, it's great that these guys aren't giving up this close to the end of the season. That gives you hope for tomorrow.
By the way, you see that crowd there.
Yeah.
Decent crowd. Texas Tech claimed to sell out. So
that's false.
I mean, they might have sold out the tickets, but there was not seats were not full. But not the point. Yeah, a 17-3 is the way they were able to shoot the ball, kept them in that game.
Yeah.
You just got to be. It's a gutsy performance. They're going to only get better.
Yeah,
they're going to
absolutely.
get better. You just have to have faith in that and the confidence in that, and I think both of us do. So tomorrow, 11 o'clock tip-off on Saturday, Oklahoma State takes on the Kansas Jayhawks, who are a game behind in the Big 12.
Right.
They need help. Their backs are against the wall. That means probably Kansas is going to come in here firing on all cylinders.
Absolutely.
But the Cowboys have beat the Jayhawks 4 out of the last 5 times in Gallagher-Iba Arena. The big upset last year on senior night.
Yep.
What do the Cowboys have to do to beat the Jayhawks tomorrow?
I think they have to play with the same kind of energy they played with against Texas Tech. They have to defend the 3-ball like they did against Texas Tech. And they're the best in the Big 12 of that. Texas Tech was 3 of 19 from the 3-point line after letting Jared Culver in that last meeting with Texas Tech go 5 for 5. He was 1 for 5 in this one. So I think if they can defend the 3-point line and just play solid defense, I think they'll be fine. I think they can find energy in the crowd, and their offense will work in GIA just because it's a home game and the crowd's going to be there. If they can stay locked in on the defensive side of the ball, I think there's a real shot they could upset Kansas this Saturday, or I guess tomorrow.
Yeah, they lost 84-72 in Fog Allen on February 9th.
That was because of a late game run. That was close for a little bit.
That's what Oklahoma State has to do. At times they've struggled this season, and even just a 2-minute run, and it'll be a 10-0. They can't score, they can't defend, and it's just the weirdest 2 minutes you've seen.
Yeah.
And it's the nail in the coffin during the game. I mean, it's a death warrant when they do that at times. That's what happened in Lawrence. They were close. They were fighting. I remember that game. I was watching it. Left the room for a couple minutes, came back, and I was like, what happened? I mean, they just go on a ridiculous run. If they can shoot the ball the way they did in Lubbock, Kansas doesn't have a chance. And I mean that legitimately. If they can shoot that way, if they can knock down 17 threes, they'll beat Kansas. There's a reason that was a school record, because that was remarkable shooting performance. But last time, Cam McGriff, 22 points against the Jayhawks. If they can get Cam have 22, Lindy around 20, Dezongwa have a hot night, it's possible. I'm saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a 3% chance according to ESPN, against Texas Tech. They almost pulled that off. Now they have a 17% chance. Even better. Even better. So if they can sustain that late second half run, if they can do what they need to do, play lockdown defense, one thing they can't have happen, they can't have Lindy foul out with 19 minutes. They can't have Yor foul out with 15 minutes. They have to stay out of foul trouble, and when you're playing 7 guys, that is really hard to do. But they can get points from these guys. Curtis Jones, Isaac Likely, there's points to be found. Even though there's only 7 of them, there is points to be found. There is great potential for the Cowboys to pull off an upset, and there will be a lot of fans in Manhattan, Kansas, and Lubbock, Texas, cheering on Oklahoma State at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Absolutely. And like you said, Kansas needs help. Oklahoma State, they're not in the business of giving out help to Kansas in basketball. So, they're going to come with energy. Kansas, like you said, is going to be coming in super locked in. Like you said, they've struggled in the past here in Gallagher-Iba. They're going to give the Cowboys their best shot. So, the crowd's got to be there. They've got to be locked in defensively. You don't just play smart defense. You don't have to play, super aggressive defense. Like you said, keep out of foul trouble. That's going to be big, especially for Yor. He had trouble earlier in the season getting in foul trouble. He's kind of cleaned that up. We'll have to see if he can keep that up on Saturday.
Struggled with that down in Texas, but I mean the foul discrepancy the free throws were way in Texas Tech's favor. You kind of have to look at the 3-point opportunities the Cowboys had, though. They'll change that a little bit. So I think it's going to be difficult for the Cowboys, but if they can do all the right things, if they play the way they did in Lubbock, I think they'll pull off an upset. So other things going on in Oklahoma State athletics, the Oklahoma State baseball team, all this weather has been crazy.
It has.
I mean, we've had ice, we've had a little bit of snow. Might be getting some snow this weekend. Fingers crossed. I don't want to see you Monday, Logan. I'm just kidding. But there's maybe some chance there. So they moved some games. They've shifted the softball tournament. But Oklahoma State baseball has taken 2 out of 3 games in both their series. They take on Iowa, a doubleheader, first pitches in just over an hour, and then a game on Saturday. Do you think Iowa's 4-3, split the series in Hawaii? They got to go to Hawaii,
Lucky
and then they go back to Iowa and come here. You think Oklahoma State has the potential to sweep a Big Ten opponent?
I think so. I think especially if they can play well today. I would say the weather might be an advantage, but they're from Iowa. That's probably not much better up there. But maybe they're still used to that Hawaii weather. Maybe they think it's going to be nice and warm. But I think there's a real chance if they can just stay disciplined, not give up a big lead like they did or I guess it wasn't a big lead, but they gave up a lead against Wright State at the end of that series. I think there's a real chance. They have the bats. We'll have to see if they can stay disciplined on defense, though.
Oklahoma State's sitting at 5-2, but their losses were a 5-2 loss to UT Rio Grande Valley, and obviously a 5-4 loss, which they lost in the top of the ninth to Wright State in the final game of the series, though. So both their losses are close. Iowa, though, is a Big Ten opponent, a Power 5 team that can be a little different, but a doubleheader today. So in first pitch is at 2:05 tomorrow. So the Cowboys, a sweep would be great.
Yes.
And then they turn their attention to Wichita State on the 5th, and then they get to go out to Los Angeles and take on USC, UCLA, and Michigan.
I bet they are ready to get out of here and get away from this weather.
I can only imagine you're right about that. The weather in LA.
We should see if we can go with them.
Yeah, we can probably fit in a suitcase.
Yeah.
We'd be a bat boy for a weekend. Why not? Great experience. So the Cowgirls are hosting the OSU Tulsa Invitational. There's going to be some games played here at Cowgirl Stadium, some games played in Tulsa. It's mixed, which is weird because Oklahoma State and Tulsa never play, but they're in this tournament together that involves Syracuse, McNeese State, and Northern Iowa. The game against Seattle was canceled due to weather yesterday. So this is a good tournament. Vanessa Shippey.
I was about to say, Vanessa Shippey making a return today.
The return of Vanessa Shippey. What kind of feelings do you think that's going to be for Vanessa Shippey?
I think it's going to be nostalgic, obviously. She played here. She was a great player here. I think she's going to get a warm welcome as she deserves. I think it's going to be a good little homecoming for her.
Yeah, I think that's got to be, as you mentioned, the nostalgia. And she played here not that long ago.
Right.
But coming back in a different role, basically coaching for Syracuse, has got to be a little weird. But then they take on McNeese State and then Northern Iowa. So, as we said, the doubleheader was canceled yesterday versus Seattle. But, a 5-game weekend for the Cowgirls before they play, just like the Cowboys play Wichita State coming up after that. So it's going to be a tough weekend, but like we talked about in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, they played a little bit more high-end teams there.
Yeah.
But if you can get those wins, rack them up early in the season, because it's going to be tough, just like we went for Cowboy baseball, when you get into that Big 12 play to win series, to go on runs, it's just difficult to do that. So if you can pick up the wins now, all the better.
Right.
Well, we're going to take a weekend-long break. We'll be back on Monday. I guess depending if we don't get snowed in.
Maybe.
We'll be back. But make sure you get into Gallagher, Iowa tomorrow to watch the Cowboys take on Kansas. Go out to the softball stadium, watch the Cowgirls in the OSU Tulsa Invitational, and go out to LAP. Enjoy the last season there and enjoy the series against Iowa. Thank you guys for watching One-on-One. We'll see you on Monday.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.